Hello and welcome to MAT's Winter Talk series. In this episode, we will hear the experiences of 3 volunteers working with us as part of the Fathoming the Future project. This project started in spring 2022 and is supported by the Heritage Lottery Fund. Some of the aims of the project are involving volunteers and creating online resources to bring maritime archaeology closer to a wider audience. Fathoming also aims at creating outcomes that will ensure engagement for all. You can find more information on this project by clicking the link down below. In this video, Benita talks about her research on the relationship between maritime wildlife and shipwrecks. Sydney shares details about her experience on the Discovery bus taking part in outreach events. Maggie talks about her research investigating stories of women in maritime history. She takes us through her research process and discussing exciting discoveries she made, as well as challenges she had to face. I hope you enjoy this video, and please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content on maritime archaeology.
Hello, my name is Benita. I started volunteering at the Maritime Archaeology Trust last year, hoping to contribute by sharing my background in marine and environmental conservation. I am new to maritime archaeology and historical shipwrecks, and when Greta was looking for an article on the relationship between the marine environment and shipwrecks in the UK, this was an opportunity to learn more about what was on my doorstep. I have dived shipwrecks, but there is so much more that goes on beneath the surface that you cannot see. It also just so happened I was watching a documentary on the Swash Channel wreck showing the effects of shipworm. Historical shipwrecks can provide marine life refuges for many species, such as the well-known conger eels and lobsters, as well as some unique species. Despite the many wrecks known in the UK, few are legally protected. Many of the wooden shipwrecks are being attacked by the notorious shipworm and gribble, and various chemicals and oil from cargo pose threats to the surrounding marine environment. This was a great learning experience for me to find out about the local marine life and threats to archaeological shipwrecks, and what the UK is doing to bring marine science and archaeology together. Some shipwrecks are under threat of being literally eaten or eroded away and lost, and the project highlighted the need to find out what we can as soon as we can, particularly in our rapidly changing environment, and this is helped through public outreach. A later project outlined the projects the MAT had been involved in connection with historical periods from prehistory to modern times, as water levels have risen. The MAT is well located to respond to the historical sites around the Solent. It was uplifting to see projects started from local enthusiasts discovering an historical artefact and leading to the community and numerous organisations being involved. This put into context the scope of the MAT's work and reinforced the need for interdisciplinary collaboration, a theme that resonates throughout, and indeed in work I have done in marine science. The use of technology such as photogrammetry provides the MAT with further tools to provide visual images accessible to all. I've long enjoyed finding out about things, so these projects were well suited for me. I'm fascinated by the adaptability of marine life to changing situations, like making a home on a shipwreck, and the warming climate. It was nice to find another connection to marine science. I believe collaboration between archaeology and marine science is a fairly recent development in the UK, so I am enthusiastic about its future. I have always enjoyed sharing the magic and importance of the marine world, and seeing people enjoying and being inspired by it. We are naturally connected to it. We are, after all, mostly water, so it's in our best interests to look after it and get to know it. Maritime archaeology connects us to the water world and to our past, and we can learn valuable lessons from that. With all the negative news about the environment we hear these days, I think it's important to change the tune and bring positive stories and sharing to the fore, and the MAT work hard to do just that. Connecting present and past in marine archaeology can connect us better with our environment, bring us a deeper appreciation and motivation to take care of it.
Hi, my name is Sid and I am a student at the University of Southampton studying archaeology. I started volunteering with Maritime Trust as it allowed me to learn more and also gain new experiences within this wide subject. It has also allowed me to connect with others who also have similar interests. I volunteered and worked with a discovery bus. This great experience allowed me to discuss a subject that I'm passionate in, while also allowing me to help children, young adults and adults learn more about archaeology and what maritime archaeology is. There are a load of different artefacts on the bus that range from prehistoric hand axes to dead eyes from ships and animal bones. I think my favourite artefacts would be either the dead eye or the elephant's tooth, as people don't always know what they are, and it's always seeing their reaction to these artefacts are always worth it. Outreach and engagement with the public is an important part of archaeology. A lot of the time people want to learn more about the area they live in, and by providing an enthusiastic environment that encourages a hands-on experience allows them to understand the past by engaging with artefacts people wouldn't normally interact with. This gives an opportunity to involve the community and create a great experience, an environment where they can learn about various artefacts, sites and methods, while also allowing archaeologists to share their knowledge and passion.
Hi, I'm Maggie Fogg, and I worked on the Maritime History, a Woman's Story booklet as part of the Fathoming the Future project. This booklet was conceived on a ferry to the Isle of Wight when we were on our way to the Shipwrecks Centre. The discussion was how to involve more females in maritime history and the MAP website. I think I said, that's easy. I was raised on a small council estate in Weston in the 50s. Without exception, every household had at least one family member who either went to sea in the Royal or Merchant Navy, worked in the docks as a docker or stevedore, or worked in a shipyard building or fitting out ships. The mothers, wives, sisters and daughters all had a story to tell, and I knew there were there still and many more like them in the rest of Woolston and probably the city. So I spoke to every female I knew and put a posting on Facebook. From Facebook I got 2 of the Wren stories, both incredible stories, but also I got a lot of time wasters, posting bits like, my granddad was in the Navy and his ship was torpedoed and sunk, but he survived. And then the next person posted, her granddad was torpedoed twice and survived both sinkings, and he swam to shore. So when I pursued the stories and more that followed, it was all obvious it was really sort of one-upmanship. But I had more than enough stories from friends, acquaintances and referrals. The booklet could easily have been up to 30 stories in length, and possibly more. There's just so much out there. But each story had to be carefully researched so that it was factually correct and put in chronological order. Even within families, stories can be distorted, and I even covered some surprises. But this took quite a lot of time. I arranged the first chat with each contributor to collect every memory that they had of their relative, then spent time at home arranging the stories into known facts and a timeline. This usually threw up a lot of questions, so a second meeting followed to fill in the gaps. I then did the research around any events or situations and started to put the story together. They, in the meantime, looked at photos or memorabilia that we could photo to include with their story. We would meet up again for me to give them their account and for them to agree that everything was correct. and this is where tact and diplomacy was involved, where events didn't happen as the contributor thought. Or, for example, the storyteller thought, say, their dad had been involved in a battle, but it was a story he had told about it happening while he was elsewhere. There are some very funny episodes and some sad, but it was really obvious with every single story how proud each narrator was of her story and the character involved. I tried as much as possible to capture the feelings and the language of the contributors. All the stories had to be edited to go in the booklet, so many anecdotes aren't printed. But if anyone's interested in the full story of any contributor, I'm more than happy to pass it on. They make really lovely reading. I'm so proud of it, and I hope everyone enjoys reading it. Thanks very much.